Hello, welcome to the program. It's my delight to bring you another preliminary contest in this year's National Science and Maths Quiz. Competing today are Kumasi High Secondary School and St. Peter's Secondary School. St. Peter's Secondary School is not new to the program. They've been with us all these years with very impressive performance, former champions, and Kumasi High School are joining us after a break, right? So you're welcome. Let's have the contestants introduce themselves now. We have St. Peter's Secondary School to my right, represented by
Kuti Solomon, SS3.
Owusu-Arko Emmanuel, SS3.
Bono David, SS3.
Kumasi High Secondary is to my left, represented by
Sambian Richard, SS3.
Ajimai Bosu, Form 3.
Gabriel Sid, Form 3.
We'll move straight into round one. You have 15 seconds within which to give me an answer. Your question, St. Peter's. Transverse mechanical waves will move only through A, solids, B, liquids, C, gases, D, all of the above, E, none of the above. Only one attempt. Yes, Solomon.
All of the above.
No. Transverse mechanical waves will move only through solids. Kumasi High. Longitudinal mechanical waves will move only through A, solids, B, liquids, C, gases, D, all of the above, E, none of the above. Only one attempt. Yes, Richard. All of the above. Your question, St. Peter's. The electrode potentials of the half cells, aluminium 3+ in equilibrium with aluminium and manganese 2+ in equilibrium with manganese are -1.7 and -1.2 volts respectively. Which of the two metals is a better reducing agent? Only one attempt. Yes, Solomon.
The magnesium ion.
No, it is the aluminium. It is the aluminium. Kumasi High School. The electrode potentials for gold 2+ in equilibrium with gold and silver plus in equilibrium with silver are +1.50 and +0.80 volts respectively. Which of the metal ions is a poorer oxidizing agent? Yes, Richard.
Silver.
Silver is correct. St. Peter's, how many joints does the leg of an insect have? Only one attempt. How many joints does the leg of an insect have? Yes, David.
4.
It is not 4. It is 5. Kumasi High School. How many spiracles are found in the thorax of a cockroach? Only one attempt. How many spiracles are found in the thorax of a cockroach? Yes, Ajman.
10.
It is not 10, it is 4 or 2 pairs. Your question, St. Peter's Secondary. And this instruction is to both schools. Find the least value of the expression and the corresponding value of x Find the least value of the expression and the corresponding value of x. St. Peter's, x squared minus 4x plus 5.
The least value is 9
Emmanuel,
The least value is 9/4 and it occurs at where x is 2.
it is not correct.
The least value occurs when x equals 2 and y equals 1.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. You should express yourself well. You were supposed to find the least value and the corresponding value of x. So the least value is 1 for x equals 2. Kumasi High, x squared plus 6x minus 9. X squared plus 6x minus 9. Yes, Ajiman.
The least value is 0 and then it occurs at x equal to 3.
It is not correct. Yes,
The least
Richard.
value is 0 and occurs at x is equal to negative 3.
It is not correct. One last chance. Yes, Ajiman.
The least value is negative 12 and it occurs at x equal to 3.
For a bonus, David.
The least value is minus 18 and it occurs when x is minus 3.
That is correct. Your question, St. Peter's. Mention one similarity between electric and magnetic forces. Yes,
They are
David.
both forces.
We will not take that.
They,
Emmanuel.
they all have field lines.
I will not take that.
Yeah.
For a bonus, Kumasi High School. Electric forces are due to 2 kinds of charges, and magnetic forces are due to 2 kinds of poles. You could also say like charges repel and like charges attract. Similarly, like poles repel and like poles attract. Your question, Kumasi High. Mention one difference between electric and magnetic forces, or one difference between electricity and magnetism. Yes, Sajima.
These have magnetism has magnetic force has like poles and has poles, but electric force has charges.
Yes, Richard.
The force in a magnetic field is calculated by F is equal to PL.
For a bonus, St. Peter's. Yes, Emmanuel.
The electric force is generated by the flow of electron, but that is the magnetic force is generated by the alignment of domains.
No, we won't take that. Same for magnetism, the poles come in pairs. I just told you what the similarities are, okay? For magnetism, the poles come in pairs, whereas for electricity, a single charge can exist on its own. Your question, St. Peter's Secondary. Find the, and again the instruction is to both schools. Find the coordinates of the points of intersection of the given line with the axis. Find the coordinates of the points of intersection of the given line with the axis. St. Peter's, 2x minus 3y equals 6. Yes, Emmanuel.
0 and 0 negative 2.
With which axis?
The x-axis is 3, 0, and the y-axis is 0 minus 2.
That is correct. Mercy High, half x plus 1/5 y equals 1.
At the x axis it's 0.5, and then at the y axis 2.0.
2 out of 3. You interchange them. For the y-axis is 0.5, for the x-axis is 2.0. Your question, St. Peter's. Give the products of the reaction between lithium hydride and water. Yes, Solomon.
Lithium hydroxide and hydrogen gas.
That is correct. Kumasi High, give the products of the reaction between lithium oxide and water. Richard, is your hand up? Yes.
Lithium hydride and oxygen gas.
Do you want to take that, St. Peter's? Yes, Emmanuel.
Lithium hydroxide and oxygen gas.
I'm sorry, it's simply lithium hydroxide. Your final question for this round, St. Peter's. What name is given to the arrangement of vascular tissue in the lamina of a leaf? Yes, Emmanuel.
Venation.
Venation is correct. Kumasi High, what name is given to a collection of bracts at the base of a capitulum? Involucra is correct. And that brings us to the end of round one.
As I start my day, I know they are counting on me. I am a truck driver for the Ghana Education Trust Fund. My job is to supply books to schools across the country. Whenever I see the school kids, my mind goes back to my school days. I too had hopes and dreams that sadly never came to pass. I made a firm promise to myself that if I couldn't chase my dreams, I would make sure that others could. Seeing these happy kids simply warms my heart. It's happening every day, and I'm proud to be part of Get Fund. Get Fund, we invest in tomorrow's leaders.
At the end of the first round, here are the scores. Kumasi High Secondary School has 11 points. St. Peter's Secondary School has 12 points. Let's move on to round two, the applied science round. You need to explain a number of concepts in this round. I'll encourage you to be very clear in your explanations. You have 15 seconds within which to give me an answer. In a few cases, 30 seconds, because questions will involve calculation. Your question, Kumasi High School. Two metal spheres mounted on insulated supports are in contact with each other. How could both spheres be given a net electric charge without touching them? Yes, Ajiman.
This can be done by induction. When a charge is brought near it, the charge will repel equal charges opposite to it to the other side of the sphere, the metal sphere on the other end. And then charges of the same, of opposite charge will be on the one nearer to the inducing agent.
2 out of 3. Your aim is to charge the spheres. So when you bring the charged object near one sphere, you get the opposite charge on that. That induces another charge on the one. You will have to separate the two spheres by means of their insulated supports before removing the charged object that you used in inducing the charges in the first place. Your question, St. Peter's Secondary. When calculating the orbits of a planet around the sun, astronomers safely ignore electric force. Why do you think this is so? Yes, Emmanuel.
This is because the magnitude of the force of attraction, that's the attraction between the planets in space is greater than the electric force. So they have
Emmanuel is not correct. Yes, David.
Because the distance of separation is very big, so, and also the gravitational constant is too small to account for the force.
We're talking about electric force. Both the sun and the planets are electrically neutral. Your question, Kumasi High School. John takes thrice as long as James to do a piece of work. Working together, they take 6 hours to do the job. How long will James, working alone, take to do the job? Gabriel?
1 hour.
It's not 1 hour. Yes, Richard.
8 hours.
8 hours is correct. Kweku and Kafui take 6 days to complete a job, and Kafui working alone takes 10 days to do the same job. How long will Kweku take to do the job? Yes, David.
15 days.
15 days is correct. Kumasi High School, what evidence suggests that terrestrial vertebrates may have had aquatic ancestors? Yes, Gabriel.
They have scales.
I'll not take that.
They have notochord which extends the whole length of the body.
They have what?
Notochord.
Will not take that. Yes, Emmanuel.
Yeah, embryonic stages, they all have gills and other signs which shows
That
that
is
they...
correct. Your own question, St. Peter's. The pentadactyl limb of mammals is specialized in humans for grasping. How is it modified for flying in birds? Yes, Solomon.
It is extended to form wings, which are covered with, which have a layer of skin around it. And
Solomon, we're talking about the pentadactyl limbs. Yes, Emmanuel.
They are modified to form the different limbs which bodily muscles are tied to form a flat surface for flight.
You have one last chance.
They are modified to form legs, which have claws, claudigates.
For a bonus, Kumasi High School.
They are modified into their streamlined body too.
The distal bones are reduced and fused. Okay. Your question, Kumasi High School. What would you observe when hydrogen sulfide is bubbled through a solution containing zinc 2+ ions? Only one attempt. Yes, Ajiman.
There will be precipitation of sulfur.
A white card precipitate of sulfur.
A white precipitate. Your question, St. Peter's. What would you observe when dilute ammonia is added dropwise and then in excess to a solution of zinc 2+? Only one attempt. Solomon.
It forms a white gelatinous precipitate which dissolves in excess.
That is correct. Kumasi. With an object at the focal point of a magnifying glass, the magnification is given by m equals 25 centimeters over f, where f is the focal length of the lens. According to this equation, the magnification could be increased indefinitely by using lenses with shorter focal lengths. Why then do we need compound microscopes? Yes, Gabriel.
In this one, it involves magnifying glass in abnormal adjustment. Then the compound microscope, to find the magnification, it will be the focal length of the objective over the focal length of the eyepiece, which is equal to...
Yes, Richard.
This is because the least distance of vision for a focal, of forming an image for the focal length is 4 times its focal length, so that beyond that it forms a blurred image.
Do you want to take that for a bonus thing?
This is because in the compound microscope, the magnification is given by the product of the objective length times that of the eyepiece, which will give a wider and larger magnification. But if you should increase the focal length of the the simple microscope, it will get to a time where the focal length can no more be increased. Therefore, it will
I'm sorry, Emmanuel. We are not increasing focal length. We are not increasing focal length, so it nullifies all that you said. Now we are told that m is 25 centimeters over f. Okay. You know what? Let me ask your question first, and then we'll explain. Your own question. The focal length of the lens of the human eye varies with muscle action. Discuss the shape or curvature of the lens when looking at distant and close objects. Yes, Solomon.
When looking at distant objects, the focal length increases and the lens is thin so that the image can be focused on the retina. But when looking at short objects, the lens becomes thicker and the focal length is decreased so that the image can be formed on the retina.
You didn't mention curvature at all. 2 out of 3. You were supposed to discuss the shape or curvature of the lens. So as the focal length is longer, it means that curvature would be large, okay? And when you shorten it, the radius of curvature will be small. Now, in the earlier question that we asked, we said magnification is 25 centimeters over f, which means that if you shorten focal length, you can increase magnification indefinitely. Why then do we need a compound microscope if we can just keep shortening focal length? And the answer is that you cannot shorten focal length indefinitely, because in shortening focal length, you are reducing the radius of curvature. And there's the limit to which you can reduce radius of curvature, because at a certain point, aberration gets bigger and bigger. As your radius of curvature gets smaller, aberration becomes bigger and bigger, which means that your picture is not going to be perfect. And that is why after a certain point, you will need a compound microscope and not keep shortening your focal length. Your question, Kumasi High. Simplify 2 root 45 minus root 180 plus 5 root 20. Yes, Richard. Yes, Richard.
10 root 4.
It is not 10 root 4.
10 root 5.
It's 10 root 5. St. Peter's, your question. Simplify 5 root 28 minus 2 root 63 plus 3 root 112. Yes, David.
16 root 7.
That is correct. Your question, Kumasi High. The terms estivation and hibernation are used to describe a state of inactivity that occurs in some animals. What is the difference between the two terms? Yes, Richard.
For hibernation, it is used for organisms that live in very cold weather conditions. So that when the weather temperature becomes very low, they hibernate. But for the estivation.
Estivation. 1 out of 3. Yes, hibernation is a period of inactivity in response to the cold months of winter, whereas estivation is in response to drought or heat. Your question, St. Peter's. Many seeds undergo a period of resting called dormancy. What is the importance of dormancy? What is the importance of dormancy? Yes, Emmanuel.
It stores maximum energy and food so as to overcome the pressure of germination. And it also helps it to undergo certain processes which will favor it from unfavorable conditions from coming against it.
Solomon, do you want to add?
It also helps the organism to survive unfavorable conditions such as drought.
It helps the seed to.
1 out of 3. Dormancy occurs in seeds, so it enables the seed to survive adverse environmental conditions like cold and drought. Some seeds have a dormancy requirement during which physiological changes occur before the seed can become sensitive to external conditions that will cause it to germinate. Okay, it also helps in seed dispersal, survival of the seedlings, and all the rest. There are quite a number of advantages. Your question, the final set for this round, Kumasi High. The fluorescent tubes used for lighting are usually filled with a vapor or gas. What is the use of the gas? Yes, Ajiman.
The gas in the fluorescence become ionized when the metal is heated. And when this is ionized, it glows. That gives the light.
When the current is switched on and electrons pass through the gas, they undergo excitation. And when they come back to their ground state, they emit radiations which produce the light.
I'll give you the mark. They emit UV light, okay? St. Peter's. The inner walls of fluorescent tubes are usually coated with some white substances. What role do these white substances play in the production of light? Yes, Solomon.
These substances are usually phosphorescent, so the UV light that's emitted by the gas, is absorbed by these substances, which in turn reflect it for a longer time.
I'll give you the mark. On that note, we come to the end of round 2.
As a little girl, my dream was to become a doctor. I always wanted to help the sick. Now I'm in the dental school together with others who had similar dreams. The support from the Ghana Education Trust Fund has made things a lot better. Their support has helped provide new equipment, teaching aids, improved facilities, and our student loan. We're studying hard, and we know that we can continue to count on support from Get Fund to turn our dreams into reality.
At the end of the second round, Kumasi High Secondary School has 26 points. St. Peter's Secondary School has 28 points. Viewers, we still have quite a close race. Let's move on with this contest and find out how things get as we get to the end. We're moving on to round 3, the problem of the day. Contestants, please turn over your sheets. You will have 3 minutes to solve this problem. Nitrogen 2 oxide reacts with oxygen to give nitrogen 4 oxide in a reversible process as indicated. 2NO plus O2 going to 2NO2. A reaction is performed with an initial amount of A moles of NO and B moles of O2 in a flask of volume V decimeter cubed until equilibrium is attained. If at equilibrium Y moles of NO have reacted, A, state the amount of NO, O2, and NO2 present in the mixture. B, derive an expression for Kc of the equilibrium. Viewers, that is the problem of the day.
The future lies in the hands of our children. Children today, leaders tomorrow. And education holds the key. Without the proper learning environment, these children may never reach their full potential. And it should not be that way. That is where the Ghana Education Trust Fund steps in, so that these children can have access to basic facilities and enjoy the learning experience. Gradually, one by one, we are removing the barriers in the way of quality basic education. We will continue so they too can continue. Get Fund. We invest in tomorrow's leaders.
Thanks for staying with us, viewers. The contestants will now present their solutions. There we are with the contestants' solutions. I'll quickly go through what I have. We were given the balanced equation for the process as 2NO plus O2 going to 2NO2. And we're informed that the initial amounts are A for NO and B for O2. If at equilibrium, Y moles of NO have reacted, then the equilibrium amounts will be A minus Y for NO and B minus half Y for O2, and Y moles of NO2 would have been formed. Since volume of the flask is V decimeter cubed, the concentrations then will be for NO A minus Y all over V, for O2, that's oxygen, 2B minus Y over 2V, and for NO2, Y over V. I must say that 2B minus Y over 2V is the same as B minus a half Y over V. So then, to calculate your Kc, it becomes Y over V all squared divided by A minus Y over V all squared times 2B minus Y over 2B minus Y over 2V. Now you could simplify that and get Y squared over A minus Y squared 2B minus Y times 2V cubed over V squared. And that should give you 2Vy squared over A minus Y squared 2B minus Y, or Vy squared equals A minus Y squared into B minus half Y. And that's what we were expecting from the contestants. Let's look at the solution from St. Peter's. Viewers, you'll notice that St. Peter's got the equilibrium amounts of NO2 and NO2 right. And they should have gone on to clearly show us what the concentrations then will be at equilibrium. And all they had to do then was to divide their equilibrium amounts by V. But they didn't do that. And they went on to say that Kc is NO2, concentration of NO2 squared over concentration of NO squared times concentration of oxygen. Now, even if there I could clearly see what their concentrations were, it would have helped them. But again, it did not come through well. So the concentrations, the equilibrium concentrations did not show, and obviously they didn't get it right, because then as they went on to calculate the Kc, they didn't get the right answer. So they missed a lot of steps, missed marks as they went along. They get 4 out of 10. Now the story is no different with Kumasi High. They got the equilibrium amounts for NO and NO2 right. For the O2, somehow it became V over 2 and B minus V over 2 for concentration. Again, that affected everything. But they also knew the formula for finding Kc. In addition to the equilibrium amounts they got right, they get 3 out of 10. viewers, we still have a very close contest. Let's move on to round 4. In most cases, you will have 30 seconds within which to give me an answer. In a few cases, you will have 15 seconds because questions would not involve calculation. St. Peter's, your question. A step-up transformer has 5 loops on its primary coil and 20 loops on its secondary coil. If the primary has a voltage of 120 volts, what is the voltage in the secondary coil? Yes, David.
480 volts.
Again?
480 volts.
It is 480 volts. A step-up transformer is supplied with an alternating current at 120 volts and a current of 10 amps in the primary coil. What is the current in the secondary coil when the voltage across it is 480 volts?
2.5 amps.
It's 2.5 amps. Give me 3 functions of the tube feet of organisms in the phylum Echinodermata. Yes, Solomon.
They use suction pressure to attach themselves to rocks and also burrow into the soil. And also, they use it for feeding. That's they attach the 2 feet to a bivalve of something. And they use it for locomotion.
I'll give you the math. Give me 3 functions of the mantle of organisms in the phylum Mollusca. Gabriel.
The mantle produces the shell, the calcareous shell, which covers the body. Then it protects the radula, that is the tongue covered with teeth. It draws itself into it to escape danger.
1 out of 3. It secretes the shell which you mentioned. It protects the gills that lie in the mantle cavity. And then in gastropodia, it is used for locomotion and respiration. Your question, St. Peter's. Such that 3x squared minus 4x plus 3 is equivalent to ax into x minus 1. You have x minus 1 in a set of brackets, plus b into x plus 1 in another set of brackets, plus c. Find the constants a, b, and c. Yes, David.
B is minus 1 and C is 4.
That is correct. Find constants a, b, and c such that x squared minus x plus 1 is equivalent to ax into x plus 1, that's x plus 1 in a set of brackets, plus b into x minus 1 in another set, plus c. Yes?
A is 1, B is minus 1, C is 1.
I'll give you 1 out of 3. A is 1, B is minus 2, and C is minus 1. Your question, St. Peter's. Distinguish between a simple leaf and a compound leaf. Yes, Emmanuel.
The simple leaf is just a single leaf, and the compound leaf is made up of many smaller divided leaves, and there's no bud in the azole of the compound leaf.
There's no what?
Bud in the azole of the compound leaf.
Are you done? 2 out of 3. A simple leaf is one in which the leaf blade is entire. Your terminology should be right. The leaf blade is entire and not subdivided, whereas the compound leaf is one in which the blade is subdivided into smaller segments called leaflets, okay? And these could be arranged such that they arise from a single point at the tip of the petiole, or they'll be arranged serially on the rachis. Your question, Kumasi High School. Distinguish between taproot and fibrous root. Yes, Gabriel.
The taproot, they develop from the radicle other than other parts of the plant, but the fibrous root, taproots are found in monocots, the fibrous roots are found in that course.
Ajiman.
The tap root is the main root that is from the radical of the embryo, but the fibrous roots are found on the base of the stem of the plant.
1 out of 3. You're supposed to differentiate between the taproot and the fibrous root. In the taproot system, you have a single main root, which is the one that develops from the radical. And from it arise the lateral branches or the secondary roots. In the fibrous, there is no recognizable main roots. You just have roots of equal size. Your question, St. Peter's Secondary. Calculate the hydrogen to carbon mass ratio in geodecane. Atomic masses for carbon and hydrogen are 12 and 1 respectively. Your answer should be in the format 1:X. Yes, David?
1:6.
I'll give you the math. Kumasi High. Calculate the oxygen to ion mass ratio in Fe3O4 and give your answer in the 1:Y format. Atomic masses for ion and oxygen are 56.0 and 16.0 respectively. Give your answer in the format 1:Y. Yes, Richard.
1:21 over.
For a bonus, David.
1:3.5.
No. It's 1:2.6, which is 1:3. Your own question, St. Peter's Secondary. The points A 21, B 46, C 1110, and D XY are vertices of a parallelogram ABCD. Evaluate X and Y. Evaluate X and Y. David.
Y is 5.
That is correct. Kumasi High. The points A, XY, B, 46, C, -210, and D, -56 are vertices of a parallelogram ABCD. Evaluate X and Y.
X is -3, Y is 2.
Yes, Gabriel.
S is 7, Y is 10.
1 out of 3. X is 1, Y is 2. X is 1, Y is 2. Viewers, that brings us to the end of round 4.
As I start my day, I know they are counting on me. I am a truck driver for the Ghana Education Trust Fund. My job is to supply books to schools across the country. Whenever I see the school kids, my mind goes back to my school days. I too had hopes and dreams that sadly never came to pass. I made a firm promise to myself that if I couldn't chase my dreams, I would make sure that others could. Seeing these happy kids simply warms my heart. It's happening every day, and I'm proud to be part of Get Fund. Get Fund, we invest in tomorrow's leaders.
At the end of the 4th round, Kumasi High Secondary School has 36 points. St. Peter's Secondary School has 49 points. Let's move on to the final round. For the first part of this round, you have 10 seconds within which to say whether the statement made to your school is true or false. You gain 2 points for a correct answer. We deduct a mark from your score for an incorrect answer. Your statement, Kumasi High School. Volume of a sphere of diameter d is pi over 6d cubed. Ajiman.
False.
I'm sorry, Ajiman, that is true. Angular distance is measured in meters. Emmanuel?
False.
That is correct. All animals in the order Perissodactyla have simple stomachs. Ajiman?
False.
Oh, no. It is the mean of any data exceeds the median of the data. Solomon?
False.
That is correct. Kumasi High, baking soda and baking powder both contain sodium tetraoxocarbonate 4. Richard?
It's false.
Correct. St. Peter's, all animals in the order Artiodactyla are herbivores. Yes, Emmanuel?
False.
I'm sorry, Emmanuel, that is true. There is always centripetal acceleration, no matter whether the circular motion is uniform or not. Ajiman? True. That is correct. That is true. St. Peter's, when baking powder is used in bread dough, it releases the carbon dioxide when the bread goes into the oven. Emmanuel?
False.
That is correct. The volume of a pyramid is a third base area times height. Gabriel? That is correct. It's true. St. Peter's, tangential acceleration is always 0 in a uniform circular motion. Emmanuel?
False.
Emmanuel, that is true. Fibrinogen is synthesized by platelets. Richard?
It's true.
I'm sorry, that is false. Hydrogen bonds are a type of Van der Waals forces. Solomon?
True.
That is correct. Kumasi High, the decrease in the moment of inertia of a body leads to a decrease in the rotational speed of the body. Richard? Oh no, it is not true. The Van der Waals force in pure CO2 is induced dipole. Solomon? That is correct. Variance of a given data is the square of the standard deviation. Yes, Ajiman?
False.
It is true. And the final statement to you, St. Peter's, the formation of hemoglobin S in sickle cell patients is due to chromosome mutation. Emmanuel?
It's true.
It is not true. It is due to gene mutation. And now the riddles. I'll be reading the clues to 4 riddles. Both schools are competing to be the first to solve the riddles. When you're ready to solve a riddle, remember to press the bell in front of you. Let's check your bell, St. Peter's Secondary. Let's check your bell, Kumasi High School. Good luck to both schools. I'll read the first riddle. I am an elongated, dry, dehiscent fruit. I am formed from a single carpel. I split along my 2 sides when I am mature. I disperse my seeds by explosive mechanisms. Who rang the bell? Gabriel?
Okro.
It is not okro. Should I continue? Okay. I am the common feature of all legumes. The bean and the pea are 2 well-known examples of me. Who am I? Who am I? Emmanuel?
Pod.
Pod is correct. Let's take the second riddle. I am an epitome of symmetry. I am a binary compound with 18 atom molecules. Everyone thinks I should be able to decolorize bromine in trichloromethane, but I am unable to do so. I can only do so if there is UV light. My cousin who shows signs of unsaturation has a lot of resonance energy, whereas I have none at all. To both of us, 6 is a magical number. Who am I? Yes, Richard.
Cyclohexane.
Cyclohexane is correct. We'll take the third riddle. I am a triplet of numbers, A, B, C. I represent the lengths of the sides and hypotenuse of a right-angled triangle. Remember the relation A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Examples of me are Solomon.
Pythagorean triplets.
I'll give you the mark. We'll take the final riddle. My lifetime is so short that it can be thought of as infinitesimal. I am a vector. Momentum is my next of kin. I am a time integral of force over a finite interval. When there is a sudden urge to act without thinking, as usual, we have to say goodbye to one of the schools, and today it is Kumasi High Secondary School. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you some other time. Congratulations, St. Peter's. You have won this contest, but I must say that you have hard work to do. You have to perform better when I meet you at the next stage of this year's competition. Viewers, this is where we end today's program.